Hello everyone, I am Vanilla Chapari. This is my presentation on project procurement management and how it helps in real life business scenarios. Let's start with one example. Vanilla is an entrepreneur girl and she wants to run an e-retail business, but she is dumb on how to do that. She's worried about how to manage inventory, how many SKUs to sell, how to choose the vendors for procurement of inventory and delivery within budget constraints and lead times, which tools to use for development, etc. Not to worry, here comes project procurement management to her help, which was taught by Jim. Before getting into the actual topic, let me explain what is procurement. In layman terms, procurement is nothing but to obtain or to acquire something. Now, let's get to project procurement management. It is defined as a structured process that involves establishing and monitoring relationship with outside resources supplier required to complete a project. The project procurement cycle refers to the series of three most important steps, that is, plan, conduct, and control, which aims at fulfilling and managing the requirements of project to ensure smooth flow in project accomplishment by duly catering to its external needs. Let's talk about plan procurement. Planning involves identifying the various external resources that are required for the project. It makes sure each activity in the project is facilitated by keeping such resources available in advance. Planning involves the determination of all those resources which are clearly mentioned and documented into a file called Statement of Work, which explicitly reflects on the procurement requirements. Therefore, the procurement for a project is first identified in the planning phase, which outlines the work being contract to the external parties or resources. Now, let's look into inputs, tools, and technology and outputs of plan procurement management. Inputs consist of project management plan, requirement documentation, risk register, activity resources requirements, project schedule, activity cost estimates, stakeholder register, enterprise environmental factors, organizational process assets. Tools and technology consist of make or buy analysis, expert judgment, market research, and meetings. Output consists of procurement management plan, procurement statement of work, procurement documents, source selection criteria, make or buy decision, change request, project documents updates. Roles and responsibilities. A critical component of plan phase is the procurement management, which involves the team members having responsibility of sending the request for proposal and receiving multiple bids from contractors, after which they have to decide which one among the first of alternatives should be contracted. Here, various strategies supported by procurement manager are conducted. For example, the guide and buy decisions are made by the team members to take the right decision. Now, let's look at how it helps in planning Vanilla's procurement strategy. Keeping in mind the above specifics, Vanilla should start researching customer preferences and past sales performance. She should identify manufacturers, products, and brands. She should go to market to find products and materials. To begin with, Vanilla should have a clear understanding of her goals. This can mean the level of inventory, COGS, profitability needed, or product delivery timelines. She will start with an upfront analysis to create a solid roadmap of what needs to be accomplished and the key performance indicators that should be met. Now, let's talk about conduct procurement. Here, the main activities are conducted so that the criteria for procuring material resources are met. The bits here are studied in order to go through the pros and cons in order to reflect on which bits will suit best to match the requirement of the project. Here, various techniques are used for evaluating the proposal so that the estimations made fall under the normal range of bid. Now, let's take a look into inputs, tools and technology and outputs of conduct procurement management. Inputs consist of procurement management plan, procurement documents, source selection criteria, sellers proposals, project documents, make or buy decisions, procurement statement of work, organizational process, assets. Tools and technology consist of bidder conference, proposal evaluation techniques, independent estimates, expert judgment, advertising, analytical techniques, and procurement negotiations. Outputs consist of selected sellers, agreements, resource calendars, change requests, project management plan updates, project document updates. Team members are asked to get advice from experts, which should be used to make various decisions. Procurement negotiation skills are needed, and having analytical skills helps in choosing the best option. Keeping in mind the above guidelines for conduct procurement management, the vendor should decide on the following things: whether to make or buy products, whether to advertise to get more potential sellers to increase the pool of proposals, negotiating with suppliers and selecting sellers, conducting bidder conferences before signing the contract, making sure that the agreement includes all terms and conditions that incorporates specifics, issuing purchase orders for the agreed goods and materials, receiving raw materials and goods. Now, let's talk about the final step in the project procurement management, that is control procurement. After entering into the procurement contracts in conduct phase, the next important step is to manage and control these contracts to ensure that the contract duties are fulfilled in desired manner to come up to the procurement expectations of procurement manager. Uncontrollable contracts can put a negative impact on the procurement budget, due to which project might go off track and towards an undesirable direction. Therefore, monitoring project is critical to ensure the smooth flow in attaining the procurement needs. Let's move to inputs, tools and technologies and outputs of control procurement management. Inputs consist of project management plan, procurement documents, agreements, approved change requests, work performance reports, work performance data. Tools and technology consist of contract change control system, procurement performance reviews, inspections and audits, performance reporting, payment systems, claims administration, record management system. Output consists of work performance information, change requests, project management plan updates, project document updates, organizational process asset updates. Roles and responsibilities. Here, the team is asked to assess the performance of procurement performance on a routine basis, which should include taking various inspections and audit to maintain control management systems. Understanding the above process on control procurement, vendors should keep tracking performances of vendors using key KPIs that were mapped during the planned procurement, maintaining complete records of all procurement documents and approved change requests that have been added to the contract. She should keep looking outside of existing vendors and suppliers relationships. While current rates of products may work well, it is important to keep sourcing to have the ability to replace a supplier if needed. Procurement should not rely too heavily on one supplier, as this puts the entire process at risk. She should work on having ongoing supply negotiations to improve sales and margins. Put simply, how Vanilla manages procurement determines whether or not the business succeeds. Throughout the procurement management process, the cost of goods sold is established. This will determine the profitability, pricing structure, brand position, and so many other key components of the business. A successful procurement process will not just result in products to sell, but a clear understanding of the cost. The process also does not stop once the product is ready to sell. Procurement will track performance and lead continually to negotiations with suppliers to improve terms or adjust supply as needed. It is an ongoing process that ensures the viability and success of the business.